Hey everybody, Slightly Slanted Sleuths coming at you from Oakdale, Minnesota. Hey, hey, hey! Cool. I'll send you a link. I'm gonna post a link here in chat here in a second. So how is everybody? I hope everybody's good. Yes, I've got my cowboy hat on. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. These boots are made for walking. Someday these boots will walk all over you. Doo 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 doo. I don't know why I had that in my head, but now I'm trying to go to my email here. Forgive me, forgive me. Bear with me, bear with me. Okay. Oh, back up. Give me a second, guys. Okay, here we go, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Houston. Hey, you're a legend, Aaron. Here's a link if you guys want to join. You and Danny can come on in and we'll rehash our rehashness. So yeah, I'd like to say howdy, my fine enlightened brethren, and I hope you all are in it to win it, like yours truly. You've been fasting. Well, don't go too fast. Shake your fast. Watch yourself. Shake your fast. Show me what you're working with. I was talking to a guy today about DMT and the NAOI inhibitor aspect of it. Do you know anything about that, Aaron? Because I have high blood pressure. I take blood pressure medication. And I think there's a difference between the El Natural ayahuasca version or freebase version to the other version, right? If I'm not mistaken. What's up, Max? How are you, bud? More than welcome to join me if you want. But I titled this "Is This Reality?" because you know what's more important to us, the relative or the absolute. And I have a quote from the what is it, the Kabbalion, I think it Kabbalion. It's the axiom: keep your mind, or be mindful of the stars, but keep your feet firmly planted on the ground. Something like that to that effect. And then it says, I can't remember. I'm gonna look it up now on my phone. But sure, I'm in for a bit. Cool. Yeah, brother, huge difference. DMT is usually from a bark source of some variety, acacia, etc. Ayahuasca is a blend of DMT and vine root. Cool. Okay, we got somebody joining us. Who we got? We got Max Vision. Hey, what's up, Maxie? Promoting you to panelist. There you go. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Uh-oh, something's going on. Oh, I can hear you now.
All right, there we go. Turn my video off because I'm not sure about my data stream at the moment.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Cool.
Save on the data.
Cool, cool, cool. What's up, Cindy Lou? Cindy Lou, how are you, my sweetness? I'm saying hi to everybody in chat here. Hey, Joanne. So how you been, Max? What you been up to?
Been good. I've been working on tracking the Christos again, or the pineal secretion. I'm
Cool, cool.
trying to work out the year for every sign.
Awesome. Getting deep into it, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. I find it amusing yet awesome that each one of us has like a little niche in this this search we're in. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's like the government, how they compartmentalize everything. You know, we do it inadvertently. You know,
Yeah.
it's just weird. But I guess we all have our pluses and our minuses, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
we all-
any new nugs that you've come across recently that you'd like to share with us, or?
No, except I'm not that good at Stellarium. I've got a lot of learning to do.
Oh yeah, that's a hard program to wrap your mind around.
Yeah. So I've been working on that. That's really about it. Oh, did you look at my work on the Leviathan?
No, I've been meaning to look at that, but I haven't
put it down
yet.
because I wanted to redo it. But the hippocampus, if you look it up, the hippocampus,
Yep.
one of the first pictures that'll probably come up on images is the hippocampus next to a seahorse.
Yep.
Okay, because it looks almost exactly like a seahorse.
Yeah,
And
isn't that the triangular area that surrounds the pineal gland in the brain?
it's near the pineal. It's under the midbrain.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's behind the pineal.
All right.
But if you look up the meaning of hippocampus, what the meaning of it is horse sea serpent or sea monster.
Ah, nice.
Okay, so
I see where you're going with this now, the Leviathan. Yeah.
I went to the Leviathan, and at the end of Job, I think it's 38, where he's describing the Leviathan. At the end, he describes the Leviathan as pride.
Ego.
Ego. And the hippocampus is responsible for emotions, turning short-term memory into long-term memory, and basically your emotions.
Yeah, isn't it the it's like the same as like how language or verbiage is our interlink between the thought and the physical or the conveyance. I think the hippocampus is like the same like the algorithm in our brain computer, right? I mean, it's the spot in which it. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. I've tried to explain this to several different people, and I can't.
It's a lot of how you process your emotions, and like it processes short-term memory into long-term memory.
Okay.
Involved in that. So it's going to take the emotional state of that memory along with it. So you're
Right.
building your emotional state and your memories at the same time.
That's why we tie so much to our memories and emotions to our memories. And that's why we can remember some memories more than others, because we've got more emotion wrapped up in certain memories, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
That would make total sense.
That makes complete sense. Well, hey, I thank you for sharing that with me, because, you know, that explains the whole serpent thing throughout the ages, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
well, anywhere you see a monster or a sea monster, he's also equated to a cow in the field.
yep.
If you talk sweetly and nicely to him.
Yep. Hey,
Yeah.
diddle diddle, the cat in the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to say hi to hey Michelle Can-Am Free. What's up, sweetheart? Glad you could join us again. Joanne, where are we? I'm glad you're here again. Free press is in his house. Don't limit your memories to only the truth, to the only truth. Whatever that meant. Free press 666 states. Cindy Lou is in the house. 5D Mike is in the house. Hi guys, I'm glad you could join us. Sarah Bell, hello. And Australia School of Esoterica, Aaron Price is in his house. My brother from another mother. And Danny D thought you were gonna join me. She's in the house, and Max Vision, he's saying hi. Hi, Max.
Hi.
But yeah, I wonder what's going on. Have you heard or seen anything from Eric R. Nugs?
A little while ago. Yeah.
How long ago? A couple days or what? Because I haven't seen
More
her
than
hide nor hair of
more
him.
than a few days.
Huh. Damn. What's up, Nancy? Finally, I get you over here. I love all your comments on YouTube, by the way. I read every one of them. If anybody's in the YouTube community and goes to the same channels that I frequent, Nancy Volker, you'll see comments from her on a lot of videos. I mean, she's a mainstay on YouTube, from what I've noticed anyway, and I enjoy her commentary. So hi, Nancy. I'm glad you could join us. Right. What's up, Rainbow Phoenix? Paula's in his house. How you doing, Paula? I'm glad you guys could join us. I just got a text message I got to check out here for a second, guys. Sorry, forgive me. Do I know how to use this? A vape pen. Yeah. She can't get air through a vape, and I think the end's plugged up. So I'm giving her some advice here. So yeah, sorry about that. So what's your guys' take on this reality? Do you believe that this reality is I don't know, really true in the aspect of we all know that it's real, and when you stub your toe, your toe hurts. But do you think it's I don't know. What do you think, Max? Do you think this reality can be shifted, manipulated, or torn? Or do you think that it's
Yes.
give me your thoughts on that.
Yes, I think it can be shifted or manipulated, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just a big electromagnetic soup to me, right? The more I learn about energies, like I'm starting to learn how to heal, and you can see that with your third eye, and you can feel it. I feel it through a sensation of hot and cold, and those are energies that I manipulate.
Very good. Yeah.
I attempted it at a distance, healing at a distance. That seems to work as well. Remote viewing seems to work as well. We're using information energy in that way. So we are gathering information and altering, I think.
Yes, I would agree with that, about 98% of that. I think we have a sort of feedback loop that our reality responds to because of our collective thought process. But I think that's on the elementary level, meaning that everything is manifest in the mind first before it becomes physical. So I mean, it's not like it's like I'm backpedaling here on something that I stated in the past, like when I was doing the Kai Balian reading that and stating that all is mind, and you know what I mean by that. The whole axiom of or the whole thought of that we exist in the mind of the all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So the thought will create the vibration,
Yes.
create the energy, or gather the energy, and have the effect.
Right. And Nancy says, think of it this way. Our souls are split into two parts, our higher and lower. This was not always so. No, because I think our higher self is all one being. It's God, the ineffable. Reality can definitely be shifted, Aaron says, and that is the entirety of magic, using will to manipulate frequency. And we got Sand Grouper Studios in the house. What's up, Sandy? My sister from another mister.
They're saying,
And Joanne, where are we? Says we are in a loop. Yeah, I would agree with most everything I just read there. Yes, this is why we must be at one with the Father. Yes, the Father is the Mother. The Father is the Alpha and the Omega. I mean, the Father is the energy, the ineffable. I mean, the indescribable, or the one of us all. But I mean, how do you explain that? How do you wrap your mind around that whole concept, Max? What do you think about that?
which part of it?
The whole all part. The all is the
All,
all.
I believe all is all. We're part of the all. Different densities are part of the all. That's the concept I have that makes, in my mind, remote viewing work, because we are connected to the all constantly. We just really don't pay attention. So
Right.
that's, I like to do remote viewing because it helps us learn to pay attention, get your intuition or your blink up,
Hmm. And that's where synchronicities come in and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where you have the aha moments of your life, or the game changers, if you will, in your thinking.
Yeah, when we meditate, we feel connected a lot of the times. So that's one way to be connected to the all. And getting intuition, have you ever turned right instead of left and just, totally missed like an accident or something like that?
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm sure everybody's had some experience like that. And that's just your intuition or your blink or God, you yourself, and the all. Like if you want to think of yourself as kind of separate from the all, it's you and the all then making that decision. It is, Max. Todd.
Right. Yeah. Uh, I believe that the all is in all, but the all is not all. You know what I mean? I mean, we are no. I don't. I misphrased that. So the all is in the earthworm,
Well, you could think of it like a
but
stream,
the
right?
earthworm isn't in the all. You know what I mean?
There
Isn't
could be a
the
big stream that takes a lot of information or a little stream that takes in a little bit of information. And we're kind of like a little stream of the all. We can't get
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Appendages, like that's what the tree of life is about, right?
Yeah,
We're branches from that one ineffable being.
yeah.
Yes,
We all link back to source. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, as a
yes.
tree.
That's even better. What about premonitions, Joanne? Where are we? Asks. Never misjudge your abilities. Free Press says. What's up, Thoth Aman? Miles is into his house. What's up, Miles? Always nice to see you here. Confidence is one of the key things to have for playing guitar solos. Well, confidence is a necessity period to be a musician or an entertainer, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, are you a musician or a muse at all there, Maxie?
No,
No,
not at all.
not at all.
I played with the guitar a bit, but never very good at it.
Right. I just make noise myself, is what Thoth says, or Miles says. Stay out ID duality. What does that mean? The duality thing is the part of the creative principle, or the regeneration principle of our existence. I don't think we per se. I don't know how to explain this either. I'm not even going to go there because I don't really. Chemical. What's chemical mean? Deja vu is trippy. Yes, deja vu is trippy. A video Shaking Head production put up yesterday is when I saw how the new earth come to be. I saw and felt it in my heart about the way the tribe lived together. Nice. What's up, Paul from Newcastle? Why am I hearing an echo? Is that from you, Max, or?
I don't have any other volume on.
Oh.
I have one device running. I can turn my audio off when I'm not talking, though.
Yeah, I don't know about the reptilian thing. Nancy, I don't know about any of that. I have no time really to to look into the reptilian aspect. Do you believe that there's actually reptilian beings, Max, or do you think that is in reference to our, I don't know, our reptilian brain
I think
function in the
sure,
pineal gland?
for sure it's related to the reptilian brain. I've seen information that kind of shows that people in positions of power with lots of possessions and money, that part of their brain actually seems to grow bigger. And so it's kind of like taking over, kicking out the rest of the brain, you know?
Right, right.
Um,
Yeah,
as for
explain what you mean by that.
reptilians,
What do you mean by that?
the reptilian part of the brain actually grows a small percentage bigger in people in positions of power.
Oh, I got you.
Okay.
So you mean they're colder and harsher, and they make
Yeah,
decisions.
yeah, they have to make cold decisions, and they
Yeah.
lose, oftentimes, like with political people, they lose the perspective that got them there, the personal perspective, and getting down in the ditches with the people, and they lose that perspective over time.
Yes,
And
that could be that's spot on about all the politicians. I mean, today I was watching Step Brothers, that movie. Funny as hell. That movie is funny. But it right afterwards there was a commercial on, and it was Trump going back and forth with um, some other politician. But anyway, I mean, it was just crazy. And I thought to myself, people of the world must just look at our country and just laugh, and shake their heads and think, what the hell, these guys got their heads up their ass. They got everything, but they act like this on the public stage. I mean, it's been 3 years now, people, and they still can't put this whole thing to bed about the politics. But I mean, it's all a game anyway, right? So, I don't even know. I like turtles too, Joanne. Nice. Yeah, I don't even like to go down the politics road.
it's
Sorry.
just a
It's just a game, right? It's a distraction game.
yeah.
It's a right hand, left hand. Where's the bean under the shell game? The shell game, yes. Sand Grouper Studio says all BS. Yeah, says the Anunnaki to Sitchin. Was one of the lovely people that pissed in our pockets about all history. The Jews that say they are Jews but are not. They should tell you something. That should tell you something. Jesus wasn't a Jew. He was an Essene. Jesus wasn't even a person. Jesus was, or the real Son of Man or the Son of God wasn't even a person, in my opinion. It was the light of our Creator.
I've recently watched several stories on, I think they were Assyrian kings, they called themselves, called Jesus.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
the point of that being, he had a name before that, because he probably came out of one of the mystery schools.
Yep.
And oftentimes people would take the name Jesus when coming out of a mystery school.
Very true. And that's when the Order of the Crescent was at hand. That's the very first mystery school or secret society that was ever started. That's what the Freemasonry thing came out of. That's what the Illuminati came out of.
Mm-hmm.
The Skull and Bones, I think, even started from that, that one aspect. I don't know nothing about the Skull and Bones thing, but I think that's the darker aspect of the secret societies, or, there's certain individuals, and I won't even name those because we.
Yeah, we don't want to get flagged.
Right. And that's another point I wanted to make with the self-censorship of us in this community. Do you realize how we censor ourselves now?
Oh, you have to.
Ain't that just ridiculous, dude?
Yeah, it is. But you have no choice. Otherwise, you won't be able to play on the platform.
That is just ridiculous. What's up, Danny? If you want to join, you can join. I wanted to talk to you. I'll talk to you in private, I guess. because as you know, I've gotten a phone call. I don't know if you know that, but I did. I got a phone call. So excuse me. My nose is running here. But yeah, is reality, in your opinion, Max, is it driven by I don't know, the media, or is it driven by some pirate that has taken hold of our ship? Or is it both one and the same? Is the media the pirate?
Media is just an arm of the pirate, I think.
Nice. Yes, I would agree with that.
'Cause I'm finding out that, from when I was born to now, pretty much everything that the establishment has taught me was a lie, from eating to school to sleep, to everything, all a lie.
Right. Yeah, I would agree with that. And well, I don't know about all of it, but I think yeah,
Well,
for
they
the
got
most
math
part,
right.
for the anything that's important that we need to keep in our soul or in our bunker, in our
Yeah.
mind bunker is been kind of contrived. And
Well,
yes.
they teach you the basics because they want you to be able to operate machines, right?
Right, right, right,
But, other than that, they don't care
right.
if you know your history was totally fake, or, you're eating wrong and we're shoveling crap in you, or, don't worry about that stuff in the sky. That's just new type of cloud. You know,
Yeah.
you know,
Very true, very true. Well, it's the same with the whole Roundup thing. That the lawyer thing on TV now. How all these lawyers, these these high buck lawyers that do those commercials, like for the asbestos people, the mesothelioma people. Now they're doing it for the Roundup.
yeah.
And when the Roundup was happening, I mean, when you use that shit in your lawn and you spray it on your grass, it kills everything, man.
Oh, it's brutal. My dad
Yeah,
used
and then people don't think about, they're using it in the field on our food.
yeah.
Isn't it doing anything to you? That's kind of stupid.
Most people don't know that, right? They don't know that they use Roundup. They think that the crops just come in naturally all at the same time and everything. They don't know that they have to kill off the green crops to match up with the crops that are withered, right? So they spray that Roundup on there, make them all brown, and then you can harvest them.
Right. And today I was watching TV right after that Trump commercial that I was talking about. And see, this is why I don't really watch TV anymore, because it's just you get bombarded with just nonsense. This commercial was for a pill to lessen your percentage. If you're sexually active, it helps you. It lessens lessens the possibility you'll get AIDS. A pill. You know,
Most favorite.
have you seen that?
Oh yeah, I love those commercials. Those are awesome.
It may cause kidney failure, kidney malfunction, or comatose or death or some shit. But I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
come on.
I love that. There's one that was for depression, but it may cause suicidal or psychosis.
Yeah, right. It's like the and sorry, my brain's scattered right now because I'm trying. I'm not trying, but I have quit smoking, and my mind is just totally switching tracks right now because I've got way more oxygen in my brain in my body than I have had in like 30 years. It's been 14 days now. I'm going on my 15th day.
Yeah.
So
Congratulations.
thank you. I mean, yeah, I'm patting myself on the back for that because phew, it's one hard cookie to swallow.
Yeah.
And never stick your finger into reality. Nice. They round up people and slow kill them. The people who actually did the deed will go free. Yes, yes, yes. And ugh, awful, Dee Dee. What's going on? No wonder they claimed it was safe. Nothing to see here. Right. I'm back smoking two or cigs a day, 2 cigs a day. That ain't that bad. That ain't that bad. You know, I'm 420 on the smoking thing lately. I've been doing a lot of that, but so Max, have you considered trying DMT?
I've considered it, but I don't think I'd really have that easy of an access to it. I'm
Oh,
50,
it's easier than you think.
I'm 50 years old and not that hip with the crowd, so
You don't need to be hip with the crowd. There's a website.
well, I could always ask my daughter, but
Yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah, I was forced to do that for the 420 thing recently, and that wasn't fun. You know, because I'm so far removed from the crowd. But yeah, the DMT thing. I was talking to a guy today while I was pouring a floor, and he told me that some of them have NAOI inhibitors in them that mess with your blood pressure.
okay.
You know, and that kind of threw me off. I didn't have any idea what he was talking about there, but and then there's another version of, I think Aaron had made a comment on it, that it's the ayahuasca, which is the vine. It's a mixture between the root and the vine or something like that.
Yeah, that I think I'll avoid. I understand there's a lot of puking involved.
Yes, yes, and I've done um, ecstasy that had, I think it has DMT in it, doesn't it? Or what's that? Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I had that puking thing going on.
Ecstasy takes the serotonin out of your body.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not propagating that you do ecstasy because
takes
you know
months to rebuild it. Takes
I
months.
felt so horrible after that. I would never do it again.
Yeah, it takes months to rebuild your serotonin levels back up because it
Yeah,
strips it all at once. That's why you feel all happy and lovey.
right. And the weirdest thing was the sensation of touching things. You know, you looked at something and you wanted to touch it just because of the way it looked. You know, it's
Yeah,
like ooh, you know.
probably do DMT rather than ayahuasca or ecstasy, definitely.
Right. I think I can get there with a out puking. I'd find my own way. Thank you. Right. I'm
But
sure all them gun people and militias will start fighting for freedom and America any minute now. Don't hold your breath, Miles.
your
Don't hold
pineal
your breath.
produces DMT.
Huh?
Your pineal produces DMT.
Yes, that's the yep, the natural way to do it. And it only does so if your body's in balance.
Yes, and you're paying attention. And some of the people that have been following the pineal secretion have felt the effects of it quite strongly, especially when you're cognizant of it.
Yes. Okay, you're a big pusher on this Christos. Explain to me what exactly the Christos in your mind is and what it, you know, in the short version, of course. I mean,
Okay.
it's this. Is it the same as the sacred secretion?
Yep. It's the exact same thing. So once a month, when the moon is in your sun sign, the secretion rests for around 2.5 days. Some people get 1.25. Some people get 2-3 days. It just depends on your sign. And the Christos rests in your optic thalamus for those days. And on the end of your cycle, it's released to your pineal, and you get DMT, melatonin. I can never say this word right. Piezochromatophores. They're particles when smashed together that create light.
Haha.
And there are many other things.
And that's essentially why it's called our third eye, the pineal, correct?
Yes, and it also releases salts into your body, cleanses your blood, and there's a few other effects that I forget at the moment. But it has lots of amazing effects, or purported to. I've felt them, and others have. So, yeah, that's what the sacred secretion or Christos is,
Nice.
or the anointing oil, if you want.
Yeah, and yeah, is that what the holy water personifies or represents?
Yes, yeah. When the when the flood happens, it can be a representation of being washed with the Christos.
And the baptism thing and all that, right? Do you think the baptism is related to that too?
I don't know, but it kind of sounds similar. It, it could be. I haven't done that story yet.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to say, I forgot to say my prayer at the beginning here, or my chant, or my
It'll,
invocation. Mighty Spirit of light that shines through the cosmos, draw my flame closer in harmony to thee. Lift up my fire from out of the darkness, magnet of fire that is one with thee all. Lift up my soul, thou mighty and potent child of the light, turn not away. Draw me in power to melt in thy furnace, one with all things and all things in one. Fire of the life strain, and one with the brain. Yeah, yeah, I say that daily now, for it, as many times as I can remember to say it. And I'm telling you, people, the ebb and flow of information that comes your way is distinctly noticeable. I mean, instinctly, succinctly, distinctly noticeable when the ebb and flow, meaning that there are certain times of the month when you are open to the stream, where the stream gets to you and you recognize it and you pull from it. And then there's certain times where it's just bare, it's flatlined. Would you agree with that, Max?
yes, absolutely. Well, I don't know about flatline, but give me
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that was a little extreme description of it, but yeah, I mean,
yeah,
there's like, I don't know if it's 3 or 4 days, but I mean, in my past truth-seeking journeys here in the last couple of years, it seems that right around, for me, it's right around the middle of the month, like 15th,
yeah.
10th through the 20th, I guess, is the best time for me. And it's not on certain days, set days, but it's right in between those days right there.
Well, that would make sense because it'll shift, right?
Yes.
But within a period.
Yeah, like Easter changes on the next year from the
Yeah,
previous year, the
yeah,
date it falls on or whatever. Yeah,
yeah.
how the calendar progresses or regresses. But yeah, the have you done any research or looking into the Pluto thing at
My
all?
wife's planet is Pluto. I've been trying to get onto that. So, and she's awfully upset that it was downgraded to a dwarf planet.
Right, right. They I think it's just like the A from Ether. Why they took the A from Ether, dude. It's the same thing, the same situation there.
They
And
also
it's
have a W.
it's the same reason why they added Ophiuchus to the constellations, to the horoscopes.
Yeah,
You know,
that's bogus. That's just bogus.
yeah, it's
It's,
because they're muddling. It's the same as the mud flood. They're muddling up our freaking memories in our heads, and they're scattering our identities. I think.
yeah,
I think that's what it is, man. So they can confuse, and I hate saying they. That just, it irritates me when I say that, when I hear myself say that.
yeah,
you
I
know,
know.
it just irritates me. I don't know why,
But
but yeah.
there's so many different little bits of it to name. You know,
Yeah.
it's so much easier to say they.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Yes, yes. Because in essence, they are them, and they them are us, we.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't in one breath say we're all connected, and then the next say there's a faction they. That's where I come from when I say I
But
hate
there,
saying they.
I think there are balanced and unbalanced portions of us.
Yes, yes, yes. And I think that the whole duality aspect or function in everything, in the caduceus, even, maybe, the two serpents, the two snakes, the DNA coil, how everything has an intertwined, the DNA helix. I think it signifies or personifies or shows us that knowledge, or one thing, can be used for multiple purposes, or different aspects. Like, you can use good information for
Mhm.
bad intention, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and it's up to you to discern or distinguish, or determine what you're going to use that for. And
Mhm.
I think that's what the whole uh, good and evil aspect of our reality comes in. What say you to the demiurge? I mean, have you wrapped your mind around that whole concept, and how the demiurge creates our physical reality from the light?
I don't really go for that that
You don't
much.
go for that.
No, there may be. I don't know. That's such a convoluted. Our past is so twisted up. Um, the Elohim are supposed to be the creators, so that's a group, or God, that's a single person, or the demiurge, the bastard son of what is it? Venus? No.
Lucifer,
Yeah. Okay. Um,
one and the same, in my opinion.
yeah, but the ineffable one wasn't cognizant of his creation, right? He was hidden.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're talking the whole where the word demiurge comes from, the Gnostics and their take on how how but I mean that explains the Gnostics version of see, I believe that the only begotten Son now, and I've gone back and forth on it, but I think that the only begotten Son is the same as the Son of Man, the Son of God, is this one and the same as the demiurge Lucifer, because the truth of our creation, because well, the ineffable one, or God, is our creator, but his right hand is what creates us, or his son is what creates us, and we create the son with divine union. That's the whole self-regenerative principle, right?
Yeah. Now, have you ever looked at the demiurge as an astrotheological uh, construct instead of a physical?
That's what I mean. That's
No.
exactly what I was getting at here. Yeah,
Yeah.
that it's like anything else in the spiritual. You can't put your thumb on anything, or smell it, or taste it.
Yeah.
It's more of a, yeah. But there has to be some sort of buffer, or not buffer, but what am I looking for? What word am I looking for? Is, that when you start talking about concepts like this, it's so hard to convey or to
Yeah.
articulate what you
There's
want to.
so many different perspectives on it too.
Yes. But there
Depending
has to
on
be
who.
some sort of tool
Yeah.
for the spiritual, or the astral, or for
I-
the tool for God to create physical matter has to be,
Couldn't,
something, right?
couldn't just be God himself
Well,
or,
yeah,
or
but I
the
mean,
L.
God
You know,
Himself is us. You know what I mean?
well, if you
But
think, if we think of God as the L or the electricity or the living water, then everywhere there's living water, electricity, there's God, right?
well, the electricity in my mind is the marriage between magnetism and static dielectricity, or
Okay.
dielectricity, or
Okay. Is that
static
the ether?
friction is
Is
what.
that, would that be the ether?
Yes, the ether is unmanifest or undefined energy.
Okay, and where's God? Would God be in the ether then?
God is indescribable. Is the whole, is above that, is the pleroma, is the everything, the all. Is you, me, the energy, the anti-energy,
So
the
you're
yin,
okay.
the yang,
We're,
everything.
we're in the ether, but we're part of the ether, or we're separate. We're
No,
part of,
we're part of it. We're all a part of the soup, but we're
yeah.
defined. We're defined energy in the sea of chaos. In
But
my
we
opinion,
just agreed we were branches.
yes, like we're the leaves on the tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So there's no disconnect.
No, no, I don't think there. I mean, there is when our physical aspect of our reality gets in between us and God. Yeah, of course, there's a disconnect. But I think that's the whole conundrum we face, and the whole reason why we're in this third dimensional
Yeah.
chaotic soup, is to overcome that, right? I mean, and to realize that our home is actually an energy source of everything. I guess that's the short way to
Well,
say it.
yeah. Yeah, I can see that perspective. Yeah. See, I agree that I agree that we're here to learn for sure. We've got to learn balance here. I'm not sure if we move on or come back though. I don't know. There's the theory, like when I get over this time, I know I'm going to take a look around before I go anywhere. You know?
Well, I think me personally, I know in my heart of hearts that
Yeah,
being here is a privilege.
yeah, I
Being
believe
here is heaven on earth, is the garden. I believe earth is the Garden of Eden,
you can make it. Yes.
and I believe that wholeheartedly. That
It's all up in the head. It's all,
right. We desire to be here when we are in the Duat or the underworld, because the underworld is you get whatever you want, and there's no ups and downs. There's no, it's probably nothing but meh, you know what I mean? There's no wing, you know what I mean? Because and I say it like that because that's the dreams I had when I was younger,
yeah.
before I was 5, 6, 7 years old,
Mhm.
and they like shut off right at 7 years old. It's just weird when it's right when the societal pressures started getting into my turning my inner self into ego, or
Mhm.
identity.
Yeah,
But
I was about that age when they took the Christ out of me. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I guess that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah.
But all through my life, I've had moments where there's no explainable physical scientific explanation for things that have happened to me. Like when I knew there was a car accident going to happen, or when I knew I was going to be like when I knew I had to get out of that garage when I was underneath the dashboard of that car, working on a car in a sealed up garage with the car running for over an hour. You know, something in my head or a voice in my head said, "Get the hell out of here! What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And I didn't even question it. I just went. You
Yeah.
know,
Intuition and or
door.
blink or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and people want to say it's instinct, or people want to say that when you die and you have an NDE, that it's your last firings in your brain, and it's your last cognitive memories of your life flashing before your eyes, and this or that. But I honestly believe that your flash at the end of your life is just that flash is existent at all time, because I believe that the ineffable, the pleroma, all is one in one time existent. And I say that because in the Emerald Tablets it states that over and over. In the Bible it even states that all will be one in the end, right? I mean,
Yes.
you marry the two, you get the one, and you onward, upward, folks.
Yeah. We're all supposed to go back to source or God or
Yes. I've gotten recently. I got
question,
in
do you
kind
stay
of
a
a
branch? Do
huh?
you stay a branch or a leaf at that time, or do you lose your leafhood?
What do you mean?
Well, like we were saying, you're a leaf on the branch of God, right? Or the all, right?
Right.
Now, when you go back to the all, do you stay a leaf or do you go back to the root?
It depends if you've reached the seed state or not, or the angel aspect, because I believe that we can all become angels. You
So you
know,
would have to get anointed for that, eh?
right? And I think that's when we see the light. You know, when we see the creative principle of our existence,
Yeah.
that in which that we create in union with God.
I think you've got what we're seeing. I come at things from a more physical process. I see the end of life, that light, as our there's actually physical particles that, if made small enough, have interdimensional properties, and I think that those things leave your body with your soul at the time of death, and that's the light.
Yeah. Hey,
You get DMT active.
repeat that now. Repeat what you just said again.
Okay, at the end of your life, there are particles that are like monatomic particles. Have you heard of those? They're particles that
Uh,
are so small.
yeah, I think so. But go ahead, explain.
They can display interdimensional properties. Um, so at the time of death, I think that these are activated, and those, along with DMT, help carry your soul to the next emanation.
Very interesting. Or do you think that that's the God particle,
Well, yeah, yeah, it's all the same the same connection.
like the Higgs boson or whatever?
Sure, yeah, but much more spiritual, I guess.
Right. And it's odd because as soon as you said that, I thought in my head that we have magnetite or some sort of magnetic property in our brains, and right.
Gold for sure is one of the elements that has monatomic properties to it. It displays interdimensional. Um, it disappears when heated and then can reappear when cooled. It does all kinds of interesting things. It can weigh less than you put it on a scale basically, and the scale weighs less. It's a strange particle. And there are other particles that are probably just as strange, if not stranger.
Free Press keeps reiterating there is no end and no beginning.
Yeah.
I fly closest to source ego. Nice. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Good night, Nancy. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. You too, Paula. You have a good night. Paula's feet is freezing up. I don't know if anybody else's feet is freezing up, but I I uh, I would me I don't look at my reality now as a beginning or an end. I look at it as a transfiguration or a transmutation of things that are into things that will be. If you follow me on that,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know how else to explain it because I don't want to put the word good or bad to
The
anything.
butterfly effect, you're
When,
changing, right?
would you say, Max?
The butterfly effect, you're changing.
Yes,
Metamorphosis.
yes. That's a beautiful analogy right there. You know, the butterfly effect. That's pretty cool. Because yeah, we put the cocoon around us and you know we wrap ourselves in the truth and we try to be reborn of that truth and yeah
Yeah,
come out anew.
yeah.
Yes, very nice. And anew, doesn't that sound interesting? Anew. You know, let's tackle that question. Do you believe that the Anunnaki were some aliens that came down here and muddled with our existence, or do you think that they were us in a higher state of consciousness that maybe muddled with our existence, or do you think the whole tampering with our DNA thing is just another algorithm or another allegorical tale of creation, or maybe all of the above? What do you think, Max?
Okay, that's a lot. Uh, I believe there have been real sudden changes to us physically.
Hmm.
Seen it in the bone records. You can look at the chest cavity of prehistoric man compared to modern man. It goes from a pear shape to a barrel shape overnight. So fast changes happen. How they happen, I don't know. I kind of think that somebody did come and mess with us because there's so many writings about it. And the way I figure, I'm getting to the concept that maybe we had all of our astrology and all of our beliefs, and these dudes came down and usurped it and then started tinkering with us.
I think you're onto something there, and I do believe that the angels of the past have become devils of the future. If you follow me.
Yeah, yeah. The angels became personified.
Yes,
And
but I do believe that it's all for a reason, all part of the plan, and it's all to achieve a higher grade product of our consciousness. I believe.
so you think they're working for our good or?
I think they if, you know to put that tag on something again.
The
I
Anunnaki.
think they are just the yin of our yang. You know,
Okay.
in the dichotomy of the whole part as a whole. You know,
Where do you think you're
there has to
from?
be a dark aspect, otherwise the light aspect wouldn't be shown. You know.
Do you think they're us?
Yes.
Okay.
but you know, not us in not see, I think of us as the people like you and me and anybody in this chat right now. I believe that we are so sick of the mainstream convoluted narrative that we are on to something that was there for everybody in the past, and it was like a grade school education is nowadays. You
Yeah.
must learn this before you go on, and I think it was taught to you your first 5 or 10 years of your life, and from then on, it was your choice to decide what you wanted to do with that knowledge. And I
Yeah.
believe that that knowledge was taken, added upon, perfected in ways that
Mhm.
is now hidden from us. And like I said, the angels of the or the cosmic gardeners of the past have become the devils of the future.
Mhm.
You know, and to me, a devil is somebody that is or somebody that is deliberately running you down the primrose path, or inherently bad mojo, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that well, in the physical sense, you can see it in the chromosome, in the Rh factor, the rhesus monkey factor. When you get a woman pregnant, you both have to be tested to make sure your blood's compatible. And if we were all indigenous, right? I mean, why would that be a factor, right?
Yeah.
So that's
My
that's where I
parents,
come in on that. So
my
yeah,
parents were
I agree,
positive.
but I think the Anunnaki, if you bust that word down, the Anunnaki means the first. Uh, Go ahead.
My parents were positive and negative Rh, and I came out a blue baby because I had a sister before, so my mother developed antibodies against me.
It's funny you just said that. Three of my kids were born blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born purple.
Oh, nice.
Now I'm red. Now I'm all red.
You made the entire spectrum, did you?
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, and the blue shift and the red shift. Yeah, there's another thing right there. The blue red shift thing. Our
Yeah.
skies, you know, I, I mean, yesterday I'm driving down the road and I look up at the sun and it's bright as hell in the morning, especially around here because there hasn't been much sun in Minnesota. But the last couple of days it's been sunny, and when it is sunny and it's unadulterated sunshine, it's super bright. But you always see that freaking rainbow blob that's to the right, way to the right of the sundog thing or whatever it is, the magnetic lensing effect of our atmosphere and whatever they're doing.
Hi, Spartan. I don't tell people this very often, but back in, I think it was 2012, me and my wife were walking up a path in Burlington, Ontario. And for 15 minutes, there was an extra planet in the sky. It was the size of the moon and had two tails coming off of it that were about 20 times as long as it. That's all I'll say about that.
I've seen some weird stuff like that too, like the sun rise twice, and yeah,
I,
and
they're not telling us everything about the sky. That's all I can say, really, Like,
yeah, right. I'm not gonna say it's all
nothing
fake or
is
it's all
what the moon
holographic
really
either, but
was at that time. There's no way.
right, right,
And the moon was
right.
on the other side of the sky, so it wasn't the moon.
Yeah, and then you get people on YouTube making a big deal out of why is the moon out during the day? I just laugh at that shit. It's like, come on, really? It's like, come on, really, you guys? But yeah, I mean, so has that asteroid with the moon passed by Earth yet today?
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, there was
When
some asteroid that's got a moon or an
yeah,
orbital.
the one that's got a moon or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was supposed to come within 4 million kilometers or something like that. Yeah,
Really.
right. And do you think it's dimensions blending through? What do you mean? What are they really putting up there? SpaceX. Oh yeah, SpaceX deployed all them satellites. What the hell is that about?
Yeah.
What is their explanation with that?
I, you got me, man. I have no idea
Uh,
what those are for. You
yeah, I had no clue. I mean, I was watching Milky Way Brian's video on it. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Why would they do that? I mean, we got starving people on this planet, and they're
know,
spending money to put lights in the sky.
yeah.
I mean,
China's
come
going to
on.
put up a fake moon. Elon
Yeah,
Musk
there you
put up
go. There you
20,000
go.
5G satellites because starving people in Africa need 5G.
Right. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? This and I was watching another channel today, and I don't watch much YouTube as far as the information that because it's YouTube recently has just become so I don't know, you don't get the same feed on your wall like you used to. You know what I mean? Does anybody else agree with that? On YouTube, you don't get the same information coming across your plate like you used to.
Uh, I don't know. It depends on where you search, I guess.
Right. I mean, I know it's normal to get what you watch on your feed, but I mean,
But I generally go by subject for like a month or two at a time. So I'll just research like one subject and just go at.
oh, and it'll keep feeding you that information. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
right. But yeah, I've been getting you know how you can watch the video without watching the video, without clicking on it. You can watch the video in silence or whatever, you know what I mean? Or read the captions. And I've been getting stupid stuff like women athletes or you know uh, I'm not saying women athletes are stupid, but I mean like pole vaulting and
Oh,
long jumping and stuff
I,
like that.
I paid for premium.
So do I. I've been paying for that's
I don't get any ads anymore. So
I cannot stand watching ads. So yeah, I've always had YouTube Premium, but yeah, I can't stand watching ads. That would just irk me if I had to watch advertisements.
I used to, but I wanted the picture in picture so badly because then I can do more things on my device.
Yeah, yeah, that device they're sure getting pretty pretty
And I've got two devices. Actually, I've got two phones and a computer, and sometimes I'll be running all three at a time. You know,
You're just a freaking techies.
I just love information. I love absorbing information. That's
When is too much, or when is too much, or when is enough too much? When is too much information enough? You know what I mean? Or
you got to take I take breaks to absorb it. A few days off to absorb.
right?
You know, every once in a while.
Yeah. Recently, I took a good 2 months, I guess, off pretty much. And
Yeah.
yeah, it felt good, but I missed doing it. And I missed, but it did change my mindset on the type of content I was putting out. I guess
Yeah.
it reprioritized my outlook on it because a lot of talks like we're having right now for a lot of people, they'll come in and they'll be like, "Oh, what is this idiot talking about?" And if it's nothing that has to do with sensational clickbaitish BS or demonstrative he said she said stuff or the world's ending or the 5G is going to kill us or Steve Quayle says that these freaking Nephilim are going to eat us or stuff like that.
Yeah, I
You're
gotta
not
say
going to
titles like that.
you're not going to retain people's attention, because you're not entertaining them
No, no.
when you're talking about what's real or what's to us. And I'm not saying what's real to us is real to a next person, obviously, but
Oh, it's
you
what's
know
important to us.
yeah, I mean, of course, to each their own, but you know in my opinion, I believe that we're on to something that most on YouTube are just oblivious to.
I've seen quite a few more getting on board though.
Yes, I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
They are shifting. They don't
Yes.
argue when they hear the truth. right? Which is
Right.
nice. You know, some do, but
I have noticed now that you mentioned that, I have noticed there's a lot less degrading trolling going on. I've
yeah,
noticed there's not as much of that going on as there used to be.
yeah,
But
that
maybe that could be because we're staying away from channels that
could be.
are magnets for that, like the Nibiru channels and shit. You know, like I mean, I was neck deep in trolls. You know, when I was doing Nibiru videos and I was getting 5,000 views on my videos for that 3 month stint I had. You know,
Yeah,
and then it didn't feel right to me because, to be honest with you, you know, I don't know what's going on in the freaking skies as much as the next guy.
yeah. We're
And
all
I
just,
filmed it for 3.5 freaking years solid. I mean,
unfortunately, we're all speculating. It's unfortunate.
yeah, I've got video after video after video after video, and you know, I sure thought I saw this, and it goes back to the aspect of not pareidolia, but you actually create your reality by what you believe. You know, you can actually think you see something because you believe it so much.
Yeah,
And I've been guilty of that. And I'll admit that right now. You know, I've been guilty of that. But you know, I started turning it into more of a joke, and you know, I'd talk smack while I was doing my drone videos and all that. But you know, I honestly believed that there was a planet coming to kill us. But now I know that whole thing was part of, you know, in my head, I know, you know, in my head, I'm not saying this is what anybody's got to believe, but you know, the whole Planet Nibiru thing is a hot button keyword that triggered me because it's a story of crossing the river Styx, you know, or you know,
the Jordan.
the
Yeah,
Jordan, yeah, right, the flood, you know, it's the whole Noah's Ark story, you know, and people still are stuck on, you know, the stories are actual physical. They may have been physical actual events, but you know,
yeah.
I think everything spiritual manifests physical and vice versa. But you know, I think for the most part, like you were saying earlier, I think it's more of a theology or an allegorical,
Yeah,
conceptual conveyance is what they're after with the whole biblical stories, and I think that's why a lot of people get confused with the Bible, is because it's so convoluted and
it
so,
is. Well, like,
but it's super repetitive too, though, you know.
I found the Leviathan, or what I think is the Leviathan, in the physical manifestation of it. And we found the pineal in metaphorical manifestation in the Bible. So we're finding the physical and the spiritual, and I guess you'd call it the practical in the Bible. So there's three levels for sure. And it's got to have all the levels of hermetics. They're just very difficult to tease out, you know, for us because we're not used to the metaphors and symbology.
Yes, exactly. And I think that, yeah, exactly. Well, now we're getting used to it, and
Yeah,
it's weird how now when you, isn't it weird? I mean, I'm sure you're in the same boat as me. When you look at certain things now, like you see a
oh,
story or a nursery rhyme.
brand new eyes on every.
Yeah, you just see like the gold lining in it or the silver lining in that dark cloud or
Yeah,
whatever.
the stories have totally opened up for me.
Ain't it weird?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It
But
is. And
I
it's
sat
everywhere too. It's
reading
everywhere, dude.
astrotheology for probably about 80 hours, I'd say. And yeah, I just soaked all that up and the symbology, and I looked around at videos on other cultures' symbology. And yeah, you just soak up all the symbology you can. And eventually just
That's
boom.
that's where all the keys are, is in the symbols of our existence. And that's
Once
what
you've got enough of them going through your head,
yep.
it's like the golden key, just bang, opens it up.
Yep. And that reminds me, we should I'm going to keep doing videos, and that's why when I do the reading, you know, the Emerald Tablet reading or whatever, I do it for the pictures to be conveyed more than I do the words that I'm talking or the reading that I'm doing. You know,
Yeah,
when I let my gallery or my pictures just run on a slideshow, while I'm
Mhm.
recording the video, because I've got over 2,000 depictions of different symbols and art and whatever. And it's crazy how, if you look at one genre, or like an ancient Egyptian hieroglyph, and you'll see that hieroglyph or parts thereof in the Greek,
Yeah.
in the in some of the Ethiopian architecture,
Yeah.
in the what is it? They're over in Prague. You see it there. I mean, it's crazy how it's everywhere, man. And the biggest one is the pyramid or the mounds. And I
Yeah.
believe the pyramid is the personification of the first mound of creation or whatever,
Yeah.
the
Windsor.
primordial mound that rose from the chaotic waters, and we gained a firm, dry foothold in and grew from there. I think that's what pyramids actually personify in all the mounds around the world, like it right by my house, Mounds Park. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, I did a video on, we have a mound near our house, but they put a huge phallic symbol on it that's 33 meters tall.
33 meters.
Yep.
And there's another thing, the numbers.
Yep. And wings and horns everywhere. Right?
You know what wings and well, horns.
Of
You know what
course.
horns signify or distinguish, right?
Yes, it's your left and right hemisphere, duality, red shift, blue shift, pinga, egal, eta. The list goes on. Magnetic, electric, positive, negative, left, right, sinister, artistic, mathematical.
First and foremost, horns signified the horns of Taurus, of the bull, of the heavenly bull. And
Horus.
yeah, they connect you to the holy, or it was your birthright to rule over other people if you had horns in your hieroglyph or whatever, or in your genealogy, or your whatever you want to call it, in your bloodline. But yeah. And what do wings signify or describe?
Left and right hemisphere of an enlightened person. That's why the angels are depicted with wings. They're enlightened.
Huh. I thought wings made you fly, man.
Well, sure they do, but those ones
Or
are off.
or it gets you more Red Bull.
Or the halo. The halo. That's a
Yeah, the halo, right? That I know that was. I think yeah. The halo is a lot to do with your aura.
Yeah.
Right.
It comes up in the eye of Osiris.
Yep.
I think it comes up in between the horns of what's the bull god of Egypt?
Oh, what, Hathor, or no? What is it? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, anyways, you know the image.
The bull god. What's the bull god?
Always has the sun disk above. That's kind of like the halo.
Right. Well, the sun disk, the red disk, you know what that is. That's the knowledge of all, or the pineal light, or like that Godhead. That's the biggest epiphany I had, was that Godhead pictograph, or that Godhead.
The snake, the pharaoh's head, is also a representation of the pineal.
The cobra, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the numbers and whatever, and that's another thing, the numbers and the correlation between, like, the numbers of in a set of stairs, the how the 1 is related to the 13, how the
1, 3, 4,
5, 7, and 12 are all connected. It's just crazy. And the hours of the clock, the hours of the day, are the same as the 12 paired cranial nerves in our head. And if you want to look at the clock, if you look at the clock and you see, okay, so there's 12 hours of daylight, there's 12 hours a night, and there's 24 hours that make the 1. If you follow me with that.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. So, I mean, It's the same as the Zodiac and the anti-Zodiac or the
They used to
Zodiac.
go by double hours. Back in the past, they had what were called double hours.
What
And
was that? Explain that. I've never heard of that.
well, it's a 2 hour period, right? 1 o'clock would be from one, like actually 1 to 2. 2 o'clock would be from 2 to 4. And that actually follows the cycle. I'll show you on my wall here. Yeah, hopefully my video lasts, it doesn't cack out. But it shows you your day cycle. So here at 6 a.m. Aries, right? 8 a.m. you're in Taurus, 10 a.m. you're in Gemini, 12 you're in Cancer, 2 you're in Leo, 4 you're in Virgo, 6 a.m. you're in Libra, 8 p.m. you're in Scorpio, 10 you're in Sagittarius, and of course you're asleep by then, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces.
Hmm.
So yeah, you
Cool.
can, the cycle goes from big to small all the way.
Big to small. What do you mean by that?
Well, that also follows the ecliptic. That's the ecliptic too.
That's that sine wave that you just
The
showed right there. Right?
zodiacal ecliptic, but it follows a monthly path and a daily path as well.
That I just realized that whole roller coaster image of the line, the sine wave.
Yeah.
How I just had an epiphany, like holy shit, it's like that is the description of everything in our
Oh, the
existence.
wave is everywhere. The wave is in everything.
Yeah,
If you look up, I was looking up today, a moon cycle chart. Okay, it's got all the
yeah,
months
I've
laid
seen
out.
those.
It's a wave.
Yes,
It's on a wave too. Everything's a wave.
yes, and you look at all those NASA, like the Houston images when they're looking at the screen, and that's got the wave across it.
Mhm.
The
The wave is.
the space station travels on a wave. Yeah.
Could be a spiral, free press. Just we
Yeah.
see it as a wave, maybe.
Yeah, we see it as a wave because we only see one. Yeah, right. Yeah, so I think that's why it's like that. Why the equator, the ecliptic is in the form of a wave is because we're on a tilt and we're rotating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just kind of odd because when you run the what is it, like a redshift app, when you're looking at the polar star and you fast forward it and you watch it and you watch all of the planets go by, the sun go by, and it's just like that. It's like a heartbeat, that's what I was getting at. That sine wave is like a heartbeat, the EKG machine.
The
And
beat
so
of the
that's the
universe.
macro of our micro, so it's
Yeah.
just like, wow, even that's interconnected.
Yeah. It goes right down to the date. You can even take it down to the hour.
That's just incredible, dude. And did you know that black holes have a heartbeat?
I did not. No.
Yeah, the noise coming out of black holes actually sounds like an EKG machine of a heart
Well, that
on
might
a,
be
on, a,
soothing.
on a machine.
That could be soothing.
It's pretty cool, dude.
I listen to frequencies constantly.
Yeah, I've started doing that, and
I was
it's like
listening.
it reminds me of that movie Dumb and Dumber. You want to hear the most annoying noise ever?
God, yeah. Yeah, I sleep with 432 and 528 on every night. I wake up pretty refreshed.
Yeah, I've tried that, but my headphones are they stick.
Well,
My ears are too big.
I
They
do it just off the speaker.
Huh?
I do it just off the speaker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would annoy my snoring wife might wake up if I have my speaker on. She snores like a freaking lumberjack, dude.
Yeah, you don't do it that loud. It doesn't have to be too much over. Doesn't have to be louder than just audible, right? Just like a background noise, just to override the other frequencies coming in. That's the purpose of it. See, there's other frequencies coming in, but if you can hear that one, it should be overriding the other ones.
Free Press says reality is the splitting, or I think they meant splitting, but they said spitting of the atom. I think splitting of the atom. Reality is is relative, right? I mean, I wanted to remember that Kybalion quote, and I'm going to have to look it up now because I want to remember it. But I want to read this little excerpt. Man is a star bound to a body until in the end he is freed through his strife. Only by struggle and toiling thy utmost shall the star within thee bloom out in new life. He who knows the commencement of all things, free is his star from the realms of the night. Now that gets back to exactly what I started this show off stating was, without the struggle and the strife, is it worth living a life? I mean, you know what I mean? Is it would it be fulfilling if we didn't struggle or if we didn't have the ups and downs? You know what I mean? Would you feel rewarded in life if you, okay, say we're in the in between, and you know, we got everything going on, we got us our big house or whatever, you know, whatever you want personally, and you don't have to struggle for anything. Now what? You know?
I can answer that quite easily. Whether you have a lot or have a little, you're still going to go through struggles in life.
Okay, now I think the struggles in life are what makes us appreciate the reward from it,
It
right?
won't be the same struggles, you know, as say somebody without money. But the personal struggles can be exactly the same.
Right.
So,
And Mark,
my point on that is we could live in a utopian society or we can live in a hellish society. We're probably still going to go through a lot of the same struggles, but I'd rather do it in a utopian society.
yeah, but I mean, if okay, so say you've achieved your utopian society,
Sure.
and say on the other side of the veil, when we die, we all go to this utopian society.
What's your definition of a utopian society?
Exactly. Now that's what I mean is the utopia of your existence might be different from mine, but I mean, say no matter what the definition is,
Yeah.
it fits your criteria for what is perfect. Okay. Now, we being in this realm where we're at, emotional entities, because I think the emotion is actually, and there's something to do with energy in motion. It's interconnected with that word, but I mean, our emotion is what makes us feel alive, I think, is it not?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, in a utopic or a utopian construct, don't you set aside your emotion? I mean, isn't your emotion is secondary?
No, it wouldn't in mine. In mine, we'd have goals, you know, things to strive for. So you could still have struggles, right?
Right.
Like physical struggles, you'd have emotional struggles constantly because that happens even, well, in families, emotional struggles happen. Puberty is an emotional struggle.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Midlife crisis is an emotional struggle.
Yes, and maybe we're all having a collective midlife crisis here because we're all right around 45. I wish that was the case, but yeah, I mean, Danny says that she's ready to jump ship, and Danny has been through some strife, has been through some major blows, as I think every human I've dealt. The biggest thing in my life that I've had to deal with is the death of my loved ones, and you know, the not knowing. And I think when we make that transition and realize, because like I've said over and over before, that the last look my dad gave me before he died, and he woke up after he wasn't supposed to, because he got his last shot of you know, dopamine or whatever the hell it was, and he sat up and looked at me with eyes of holy shit, I've seen things that you were right, or you know, there's more to this, you know. And then all of a sudden he went down and he was gone, you know. So I mean, it's hard to judge what somebody's eyes are saying to you, but I mean, in your heart of hearts, you know when somebody wants to tell you something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Did he get the chance? Did he?
I think when we realize what this is in that moment of transition,
Mhm.
I think we go, wow, was I fooled? You know, because I think that's the point. We're supposed to come into this as fools, not knowing, our heads from our asses,
Uh-huh.
and learning, that we have to get our heads out of our ass and to breathe the new life, and to realize that, all is not. I like to say all is not, NAUGHT, not. It's all for naught. But
Yeah.
I mean, the knot of our the Gordian knot of our creator, our creation, dictates that we have to not know. Because if we knew what we know now, when we came to this world, what would we do with the knowledge, or what, and that brings us back to, that's probably what happened to our, that's what the missing link's about. That's why we can't find a missing link, right? Is because some freaking cosmic gardener or angel took it upon himself to create himself a little love toy, or a little gardener, or a set of gardeners, or a set of miners, or whatever that case may be, and yeah. So I mean, I'm just babbling on now at this point.
Yeah. I don't know if we've been fooled by ourselves or fooled by others, but we've been fooled. That's for sure.
Hmm.
That's part of what I think we're all really trying to sort out is, who fooled us and how do we get out of it? You know?
Right. Church of Satan leader said the same on his deathbed. Boy, was I wrong. Nice. Nice.
That's
Can't jump ship unless you get off this beautiful dome flower. Break the glass ceiling and we all die. I mean, it's just incredible what people actually think
yeah, I do,
are
Steve. I think that if you get it right, if you don't get it right here, you're not going to have it right there, wherever there is. Uh,
what do
because
you mean by that?
if you haven't balanced yourself and gotten control of your emotions
Right.
and done all the lessons of the Bible and say Thoth or the Emerald Tablets and learnt that stuff and gotten control of yourself and gotten yourself in balance, I think you're going to be unbalanced in the next emanation when you go on.
Right. I firmly believe that if that's what your heart desires, is to jump ship, I believe that you have to die before you die. So when you die, you don't die.
Yeah.
I
Good.
I, I honestly believe that, and I don't know why I believe that, and I believe that, and I won't even drop his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. I mean, I still have not heard a word of untruth out of his mouth, in my opinion, but you know, I'm sure digging and trying to find something, but I still haven't. But I mean, things being as they are, I've gone down every rabbit hole I could think of, seen, every convoluted um, uh, conspiracy theory that has presented itself to me, and it's the thing that fits every check mark that I needed to know that the only begotten Son is the same as is our, you know,
Our soul.
our soul. There is us in essence, and we create that in union with our higher self, which is God.
Yeah.
You know, and we have to slay our own demons in our own minds, and make our own heavens in our own minds, and make up our own minds to meet God. Because how many people in this chat and watching this right now have just thrown their arms up in disgust and said, "Fuck you, God! You're nobody to me, because you would not treat me this way, or you would not do this, or you wouldn't let people suffer, or this or that." Me, I did that when my dad died. You know, fuck you, God. Why did you take my dad? God didn't take my dad. My dad's choices took my dad early. You know, he chose to do what he did to get but there's other people in this world that don't choose that.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's just proof in the pudding that the whole creative thing is just indifferent. It's just automatic, and we need to realize that to get ahead, it depends in your what you see in your head or what you believe in your head.
Yeah,
If you can follow me there, I don't know how else to explain that. That sounds kind of short and generic, but
yeah,
it's fuck. Things are things are ramping up in our. I mean, I wanted to address this too, folks. If you can afford it right now to go get a bunch of rice and shit that will sustain you through a food crisis, because I honestly believe there's going to be a food crisis at the end of this summer due to the fact that all of our farm fields are flooded right now. There's no crops in the ground right now,
no,
right? And I'm not trying to spread fear or any of that. But I mean, you can go buy enough beans and rice that'll sustain you for years.
yep,
You only need 150 pounds of this and 150 pounds of that, and it's pretty cheap.
yep.
You know,
40 pounds of flour for $16,
yeah. I mean, it's pretty cheap. I mean, you don't have to go out and when I first started getting down this Nibiru train, thinking a planet was coming to get me, I started buying canned goods and all of that shit's. I have to throw it away. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not saying, be scared and prepare for
It's
the
an
worst.
upgrade too, eh?
If you have family and kids, if it was just me alone, I'd pack up my shit and go in the stabbing cabin and I'd drive around. And wherever I was, I'd be like that guy up on Charlie up in on that movie 2012 when he's standing at the crater in Yellowstone. Remember you heard it first from Charlie. As the fucking volcano's going off. That'd be me. But things as they are, I have kids, and me, I have to take care of them. So I'm gonna go get beans and rice. But
Yeah.
my point is that there's gonna be a point this year. This year, mark my words, that food prices are gonna double, triple.
Well, it's
And if
already
you've gone to
started
the
up
grocery
here.
store recently, you've noticed that there's certain things that are going up, up and up and up.
It started here. A stalk of celery was $5,
Wow,
you know,
wow.
and that's at
Yeah,
the
I
discount.
planted apple
That's at the
trees in my
discount
yard 3 years ago, and I still haven't got one apple off of them.
store.
Yeah, and I think it has everything to do with the sunlight or lack thereof, or the over exposure to UV light or whatever. But it's not
Yeah. See, there's a good investment now in greenhouses, I bet.
right. And isn't it odd that they're doing that? The big aggregate companies are actually doing that. They're doing indoor farming.
Yeah, they're starting to put a portion of their fields over to it. They know that they know it's coming.
Well, they have to realize the yields in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Last 3, 4, 5, 6 years they've had to have noticed that even just on a good year where there's not just nothing but water or nothing but drought,
Got to
that
get the small time farmer doing it though. That's the important,
yeah,
you know.
or just the average Joe learning how to
Yeah.
navigate his area and navigate the soil. I
Yeah.
mean, that's another thing this Black Mirror has done for us, or this smartphone has done for us, is just made us ignorant on where we're going, who we're calling, or retaining any memory. Isn't that odd? There's another thing. The whole aspect of we used to remember everything, to communicate everything, to remember stories, to convey knowledge. And then all of a sudden the written word starts. Then, people are like, well, we're going to start losing our connection to the information or source because it's going to be fragmented in the word. And now we're dealing with technology, the computer, the smartphone, and you see the progression, how we're getting further and further disconnected from nature, from source, from each other. And it all started with the written word, the
Yep.
letter, the spelling.
You can reverse that. start taking what you learn off the computer and putting it in writing. And
Yeah.
then it'll become knowledge, and then you can pass it on.
Right, right. But it's kind of weird how that's, if you sit back and think about it, it's like, wow, we've gone from here to here,
Yeah.
and
They made a mistake by giving us this amount of technology and information, because we've dug up the past, we've dug up the lies.
and I think that's where a lot of the misinformation, disinformation comes from, like the mud flood stuff.
Yeah,
I won't even
that,
name all of it, but I
that
mean,
started way back when, like even when I was in my 20s, there was the disinformation shows put on TV.
oh, there you go. I mean, up until recently, I didn't even have a clue that the mainstream media was so freaking against the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's
It's been
nuts.
a couple of years, few years for me that I've realized it. I've only just recently woken up. To any great extent, I've always been a little bit outside of mainstream, but yeah, waking up to the full truth is it's well, revelatory, life changing, I would say.
Right, and it's what you do with that revelation that determines whether or not it's good or bad. Because you can do good things with the realization that everything is against you.
Yeah,
You could do good with that, even if it's the worst. And
yeah,
I think that's what our purpose is to transmute anything that we see as negative, and what my
mhm,
negative is could be a positive to somebody else. I
mhm.
know that, I realize that, but for me, I think that's what our purpose is to transmute anything that is against us in our own reality to something that is for us in our own reality, to achieve the uh, the oneness with the all and each other. Because it's so easy to go into a cocoon and say, I'm going to find God and that's it, and preach to everybody like, like you're the man and you're going to do this, and just leave me alone. But I think we have to interact with every living soul as if it's ourselves in
Yes.
order to reach godhood, you know, because I think that first and foremost, that's what ourselves want from us
Well,
is
that
to.
also, if you can do that, that creates heaven on earth for you.
Right. And I think that's what the upwelling of goodness inside of you, that feeling of, oh, that felt so good to
Yep.
just do something for somebody.
Yep.
Next to an orgasm, I think that's the best feeling I've ever had, is
Yep.
that feeling when you help somebody out without
Put
expecting
put 5 or
anything.
10 bucks in your pocket on the weekend and go out with the intention that you're going to give that to somebody that needs it.
That's a good idea. $10, you said?
Whatever,
Yeah,
ten
that's a good
bucks,
idea.
you
It's
know.
actually a good idea.
I always
Right.
carry a 5 or 20. Like in Canada, $5 isn't worth much, so we carry a 20. And everybody needs some money. Here, just give it. Give it
Right.
in your hand, say thank you, brother, and walk away.
Yeah, and I wanted that brought to first person I thought of when you said that was Lavette, and the stories that woman does and the things she does for other people. She
Yeah.
invites people in her life when she has nothing, and she gives everything she has to people when she
Mhm.
has nothing. She doesn't even have a car. She sells
Well,
her car so she can pay for somebody's uh, transportation to her house so they can live with her.
that's beautiful.
I mean, this woman is just crazy.
Willie
Crazy
Nelson.
cool. I don't mean crazy as in crazy kooky. I mean crazy cool.
Yeah.
She's awesome. And if the rest of us could learn a little bit of that, I think our world would be a whole lot better. And that brings me to, like Milky Way says all the time, be the frequency you want to receive,
Mhm.
or, like Rex says, be the change you want to see, or, all of that, all of them, uh, all for one, one for all type statements ought to amount to something.
Yeah.
I think that's we need to
Yeah.
realize that that's first and foremost what we need to do is who gives a shit if the Somalian person next to you smells different, because you know what, they're human, they're you. Who gives a shit if the black guy next to you is not white like you, because he is you.
Yeah.
You know, who gives a shit if the Hmong next to you has different eyes than you because they are you. And that's what we need to get over is the division of race, creed, politics, all of that shit. And, you know, I know that sounds new ageist and all that, but I mean, I think that is what the issue of our pessimistic societal collective has come to. You know, how everybody's always barking at each other and arguing, and you know, I think that's the yellow vest movement we need to start is just paying it forward and doing good things for the next. But yeah,
That's a universal truth.
I think that's probably the only thing that will improve our reality is that in the short term anyway.
Yeah. But that's pushing towards a utopian society.
Right. And is the utopian society even achievable in today's modern world with the technology and shit? You know?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I sure hope so.
I think we can have everybody fed, housed, and
Well, I totally agree with
with a
that.
gainful sense of purpose. You know,
Our next show, we need to. Here's a thought I want to put out. Everybody think about what. Okay, here's your homework assignment. Here's what I'm gonna do anyway. Until the next show I do, I'm gonna think of what we could do other than money for our society. How could we sustain and thrive in our construct without the use of capitalism, dog eat dog money world? How else could we function? You know, I'm not talking get down and write out a system. I'm talking just a conceptual thing, you know, like do we put in a couple years when we're a certain age and then we get back out of the system what we put in thereafter? Like if you decide to go be a doctor, do you get more for being a doctor? Is that what turns you into an elite? Is being a servant to humanity? That's where we need to think about. You know, I think that's on that note, I think that's where we'll say la vie on this one. But yeah, you got any other thoughts there, Maxie?
I've been thinking recently about what unites, um, what things we could use to unite the entire community, like everybody. I'm having a hard time with that one.
Yeah, because everybody has got a different take on what is and what isn't.
Yeah, like are there certain undisagreeable things that are truth that
Right.
everybody could say, yes, that's truth?
Well, I mean, anytime you bring up anything to do with survival or
I think they would be very few, but I think they would.
taking care of your kids, you know, everybody wants their kids to thrive and survive. Everybody wants their loved ones to thrive and survive. And I think that's where you got to start your base, your
Yeah,
thought
something like that.
on that unification concept.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but it'd be a very short list at the moment, I think.
Yeah, very true, very true. Yeah, because we can't get over ourselves, you know, long enough to even think of fathom any of that. And
Yeah,
that's what's disheartening about everything right now is people are just so caught up in the humdrum monotony of, you know, treadmilling money, and you know
yeah, I'm on the treadmill. That's why I don't make many videos recently.
it's just crazy, you know. Yeah, I don't really want to make videos anymore. I just want to live stream and just talk because you know that's the only time I get anything out of
Yeah,
this stuff.
that's all my videos are. Is I just do remote viewing class, really.
When we talk, yeah, when we get different opinions
But
on certain topics is when I
yeah, if
learn.
I find something interesting to talk about, I'll talk about it. You know.
Okay, so yeah, I wanted to say thank you to everybody and thank you, Max. I appreciate you coming on and giving me somebody to talk to because talking to myself is gets old after a while because I do like hearing myself talk, but I don't like hearing myself answer myself.
It was awesome. Thanks. I had a great time.
Me too, man. Me too.
And thanks to everyone.
I want to say thank you to Michelle Thoth, myself, Seymour, last name first. I swear to God, people are getting longer and longer names in reality and in the Avatar world on YouTube. Mark Dozer, I'm glad you could, Dosser, hope I didn't hack your name. Dark Truth, Paul from Newcastle, Joanne, Free Press. Anybody else I'm missing? Danny D, thank you. Anybody else have anything to add to this? I think most of you jokers have no idea of how horrible and crooked everything is. You know who said that? Miles. I think we do, Miles. I think we're trying to ignore it. We're trying to stick our heads in the sand and just ignore it, dude. No.
Yeah, we know nothing, man.
Yeah, we don't know shit. I don't know what you're talking about, Miles. You're crazy, man. I think you need to go get some medication, get assessed or something.
We know it's there, Miles. We're just working to change it. That's all.
Right.
You know.
And Miles is of the opinion that if you don't know it's there, or you can't make it go away by thinking rainbows and unicorns, you know, just because you're thinking rainbows and unicorns, right?
Knowledge to stopping something is key there, Miles. You are correct. Yes.
I'm sure they have some pills to sell me and make me stop all of the horrible thinking too much. Right. Right.
Yeah, just don't let it get you down, Miles. Like, knowledge of it is fine. Like, I know the things that you're talking about. I know they're horrible.
Yeah.
But I like to think that we're working towards a world that will change those things. I really hope that something magical is going to happen to the human race, and that one day everybody's pineal is going to open up, and we'll hear any human suffering on the planet. And if we hear it, we can find it.
Right.
That's my hope. That's my dream hope for supernatural.
Super. Yeah, we can all we're all superheroes in our own right, and yeah, I think that our superhero abilities are going to be to love each other and say what you want to hear. You know, you know, say good night, folks. Thank you very much. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Thank you, Max.
Thanks.
I appreciate your time, your effort, and your thoughts. State of mind dose, Free Press 666. Heaven and hell does not exist, Free Press 666 says.
Nope, they're merely states of mind.
Yes, I agree with that. Yep. Heaven and hell does not exist. Right. Yep. But I think they're trying to build one for us.
Yep. They'll try to put you in the mindset of hell.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks, Max. Till the next time, brother. Love, peace, chicken grease. Keep it real.